this one's in Mozambique right after the cyclone. I actually drove across that road through the cyclone in the middle of the night, and the road washed out, and all communication was cut off, and they thought we had been washed away. So we were reported missing and possibly dead. But I was the only person in Mozambique with photos and video for the first week. So I know Dita's covered lots of emergencies, but when you're the only one there, everyone eats up your content when you come out. And that's so much fun to be in those kinds of emergencies, because you know the work you're doing is for other journalists to get there. So yeah, any of the pictures you saw after that cyclone were basically from me in those early days. And as Dita knows, or anyone who's covered news, you know, you have to make lots of choices in the middle of those situations. Anyway, this one's in lovely. Even when I'm not working, I'm always trying to work on personal projects. So this one was from a personal project about no land left to play, how Jakarta no longer has any green space or public space. You have to pay everywhere you want to go. So really for the people, for the little people, that there isn't green space or space that people can just enjoy life. And I think that's a big issue in Jakarta. That's often overlooked, because we all need open space. And maybe the pandemic has kind of brought that idea home to us too, that we need a little more personal space, and we don't need to be yeah, like I said, a lot of this stuff, I will be shooting video. I'll be, you know, making video stories as well as shooting stills at the same time. So today I'm just showing you the still images. This, I just happened to be in Ecuador the day they were holding, it was Good Friday, Los Cucuruchos, and they like go through the streets and whip themselves and self-flagellate, and it's kind of cool, and it looks really creepy. And you know, the great thing about being a photographer is it's access into the world. So I show up and I'm like, oh, look, I'm a journalist. I need to get backstage, essentially backstage behind this church. And, you know, like I go through this huge crowd and the doors open up and there's just like hundreds of people dressed like this waiting for the procession. And then you get to walk around and shoot. So, you know, I love being a photographer, because really our camera is a passport to allow us to do things. And in the rest of the world, that camera, people are like, oh, you're a foreigner, come in, right? And we get so much access and we get to see so many incredible things. And being back in the US, it's really not the same. And as we go on and talk about the pandemic work, I'll touch on that a little bit more. This is actually in LA. That was the Mexico Day parade. Just look like the rest of the world. Again, there's a community. I show up. They were so happy to see me, and they're like, sure. And people were just friendly as you could imagine, because they appreciated me appreciating their culture. And I think that's the other thing being a photographer teaches you a lot about. It's how to, you know, appreciate other people and differences. And I think that's actually the best part of being a photographer is
that's like every photographer's dream, you know, it's to come to one place and see everyone is happy. Oh, there's a photographer, come join us.
Yeah, like, and I was a little bit nervous. Like, you know, I took the metro in my bicycle, and you know, I lock it up, and like, I'm in the hood, and this is like, you know, dudes who are all dressed up and all tatted up and looking hardcore, and everyone's just like, hey man, how's it going? Welcome, and you know, trying to give me food and stuff. And you're just like, wow, I thought I was gonna be, you know, like, oh,
it happens less lately, you know.
yeah. Now people are like, we don't like media.
Fake news.
But yeah, it's lovely when that happens, and it's like, oh, so should we jump?
So Josh, you're also do a work that's called Project Rape. Is that?
Oh yeah. So we can go to the other series of photos.